in the street.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Travi Wavi. I'm your affable host Travis Eason, and we bring you this wonderful podcast every Thursday morning right around 10 a.m. live from the Neon Parrot Live Studios located next door to Majestic Coffee Shop in historic downtown Abilene, Texas. And we invite you to come down anytime you want, grab a cup of coffee next door at Majestic, allegedly serving Onyx. Stop over here and catch one of my amazing characters from the storybook capital of America right here on the Travi Wavi. Today is no exception. I bring you an amazing guest. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share this wonderful content that we bring you free every week. And please help me welcome my guest today, Jana Beck.
Hello. I hope I'm affable too.
You are affable. You're very affable. And we're going to have a great conversation because we've been sitting here talking for a few minutes anyway. Jana, let's ask you the question I ask all my guests.
Okay.
The first question, do you have any siblings?
I do.
Tell me about them.
Shout out to my little sister, Bethany Brooks. She lives here in Abilene, and she is amazing. One of my best friends in the world.
Very
she
cool.
serves as a social worker, so she's doing good work and hard things.
That's good. You guys stay in touch?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else? Is that just the two girls?
Just us.
Just the two
we were
girls?
enough.
Yeah.
We were a lot.
So did you grow up in Abilene?
I grew up in Dallas.
Okay. And how did you make your way over here?
I went to Dallas Christian School, and I would say probably 60% of my class went to ACU here in Abilene. And so I looked at it too. My parents had gone to, it was North Texas State University or University of North Texas. I don't know, they changed the names of it. But Mean Green Eagles, and so nobody had gone to ACU, but all my friends were, so I came to ACU.
Cool. And what year was that?
That was 1987.
1987. And is that where you met your wonderful husband?
It is.
Yeah, you guys met at ACU.
We met at ACU. I can show you the spot. It is in the former Sewell Theater. There's a water cooler standing right where I saw him for the first time. Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah,
so
it
you guys
is.
met in the theater.
We did.
I love that.
Right in the lobby.
You might be my first guest to have that. That's pretty great. So you guys met at Sewell Theater, which is still standing.
Still standing.
Barely, but still standing.
Yep.
And you guys both had a love for theater all the way back then.
We did.
Yeah. Because Richard's done some things. He's done some Shakespeare festivals and things of that nature.
He was a Christian ministry major who had come from a junior college and had done some traveling drama troupe work for the outreach with worship services and things around the area. And so he came in as a transfer student to ACU and didn't know anybody and thought, well, I'll go over, because it was open audition for the whole campus at that time. And you auditioned for the whole season at one time.
Oh, okay.
And so they would put little flyers up. And so he came over and thought, well, I was in that drama troupe, and he was in a couple of shows at his junior college. And so he came over, and I felt that it was my duty in Christian love to welcome him and help him feel a part of the campus.
Good. And I'm sure you did really
I did, and I had a
that.
giant 1980s bow on my head, and he still managed to like me. And I still wear them, so, worked out.
Great. That's great. I remember getting to know you and Richard many, many years ago, before my children were born, when Kate and I first got married, and we were at Highland, and you and Richard, Richard was teaching a Sunday school class. You guys, we were putting our heads together. Can't remember exactly why, but for some reason we were at your house for some hospitality, some things of that nature. But my first real memory with you, a big memory, is your oldest son, Brendan, and my oldest son, TJ, were in a doll's house at ACU in Sewell, the very last show in Sewell.
Yes.
We'd done it in the round on stage, and we would show up a few minutes before the boys went out for their scene. We'd get them in their costume, hand them off. They'd go do their bit. We'd stand there and kind of two parents looking around the corner, and then they'd come off, and we'd take them home. And you had an interesting comment about that maybe you'd wished.
Oh, yes. This was my first child. I was very insistent that he get to go to bed and have his beauty sleep because he had to go to pre-K the next day because he was 4, and they might have been learning about the letter B. And, I didn't want him to, be too sleepy for that. And so I never let him stay. I regret never letting him stay for the curtain call to experience that because people would have loved to clap for the cute little precious child.
Yeah, they sure would have.
And I always thought, I should have let him experience that. And then I thought, you know what? He would have been so little, he wouldn't have remembered it anyway.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't. And I don't remember when that scene happens in the show, but it's kind of early on.
Fairly early on.
So there would have still been another hour and a half to hang
Ibsen
out
was not short on words.
No. And ACU just did that show again last season, I believe, in the Culp space in the round again. So that's kind of fun. And when they did that, I thought, man, we just did this. We did that 20-some years ago.
And it was amazing because the set looked like a bird cage. Like it was really cool.
It was really cool.
And I'm sure that the little children were very, very cute. And I know that they were children of theater faculty, and they were precious. But Brendan and TJ were pretty,
the originals.
Pretty awesome.
They were the original OG cuties. And so you graduated ACU with a theater degree?
I did.
And then you and Richard got married pretty soon after college?
Yes. Yeah? It was I graduated in May, and we got married in August.
Okay. And when did
that was 91.
That was 91. Did you guys have a little time away from ACU, or was there?
No.
Did you stay in the culture and the community?
Well, Richard was getting his master's in psychology at that point.
Okay.
He had graduated and went back home to Erie, Pennsylvania, tried to figure out what he wanted to do with his life. And then we kind of kept in touch through crazy stories that would take a lot longer than your hour podcast, but that's for another day. But he ended up moving back because we wanted to be together, and he decided to get his psychology degree at ACU so that could happen because I was still in school.
Cool. And you graduated and were working at Subway. And also...
Yes, I worked at Subway during college.
Okay.
And back in those days, I kid you not, it was just white or wheat.
Yeah.
That is like literally, there was no pizzas, there was no flatbread. It was just, you just said white or wheat. I feel sorry for these guys now because it's like
the list goes on. The menu's huge.
Like,
so many SKUs.
The pressure. But yeah, I worked at Subway during the white or wheat days, and we were getting married, and I was going to continue working at the Subway. And Abilene Community Theater called me and said, somebody gave us your name. Our children's theater director is graduating or moving, and we need somebody. And she gave us your name. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's kind of weird because I haven't ever done anything like that before. And so she said, well, just come on over and chat. We'll just see. And that was back in kind of a different phase of Abilene Community Theater's long history, where there was an executive director on staff. We had Bob Barton was the artistic director, I think was called, and then Jeannie Bone was his assistant, and then they had a box office staff person, and then a children's theater person. This was all like staff stuff.
Wow.
And so I came in as a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed 21-year-old. But I went into the interview, and I jokingly say, because I could speak and walk, I got the job. Because I didn't have any experience in any of the things that they were asking me to do.
It could have been serendipitous.
It could have been. Yeah. Because I wasn't going to go into teaching.
Okay.
Because I I had seen the life of my mother, an English teacher, grading papers every night and being so stressed. And I was like, I'm going to get a real job when I grow up.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to marry a preacher, and I'm not going to be a teacher. And so I married Richard. He was going to be a youth minister at that time, and then I was teaching kids. And so I was like, never say never.
I feel like irony has a way of biting us.
Yeah. So I'm really, really, really thankful that they took a chance on the 21-year-old, because I found out that I absolutely love teaching, and basically the rest of my life was born.
I love it.
So I worked there for 2 weeks. Had to leave to go get married and go have my honeymoon. So it was kind of a built-in deal. Worked there for 2 years, and thank the Lord, because the veil was lifted.
What were some of the biggest challenges of that time, and then also tell me your favorite story
Of Abilene Community Theater, Children's Theater?
Yeah. I mean, I know this is just a few weeks ago, so.
It was just a few weeks ago. There's this building called, we called it the Round Building, and it's still there. But that was actually where the Children's Theater met and where my desk was out there. And it was not climate controlled. There was a little bit of electricity. But it was this huge cavernous space. And I thought it looked like a carousel because it was round.
Yeah.
And so I decided, because I was being really innovative, that we were going to call it Children's Carousel Theater.
Okay.
Well, I didn't know, because I didn't know, that the Junior League has Christmas Carousel.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And the word carousel being used, so everybody started getting confused. Like, is this
What's
a Junior League thing?
Yeah,
Are they having the Christmas thing? I mean, Anyway, but it was a really cute little business card, and it was, I got them in hot pink and bright turquoise,
Fun.
and we drew a little horse, and we were very proud of that. And I had my name on the card.
Yay.
And we did shows in that space. And I had to ask my friends to come and help. Y'all might know Dawn Swearingen Meeks, who is the chair of the ACU Theater. She was a freshman at ACU, and she came and ran the lights for me.
That's great.
We had a spotlight in there. And Stephen Bailey was my friend from school, and he was a sing-song host back in the day. He came in, and he was George the Knight, because we did The Reluctant Dragon. Y'all might know Terry Knight. She's a singer here in town. Amazing, talented woman. She was the dragon.
I love that.
And because she was a part of Abilene Repertory Theater and Abilene
Did you know that, Sam, that Terry was the dragon in this show?
I did not know she was the dragon.
I gave her a big foam costume.
I will have to tell her about it Sunday, or bring it up Sunday.
Yeah.
And
Anyway,
that's a Gary Varner show, The Reluctant Dragon Slayer. Or was this a different one?
no, this was not the Reluctant Dragon Slayer.
Okay.
I think I said the wrong name. It was the Dragon.
The Dragon Slayer.
Anyway, I also have directed Gary Varner's The Reluctant Dragon Slayer at ACS, and that's a really awesome little show.
Oh, it's so fun.
Yeah.
So fun.
Yeah, I get my show titles mixed up.
So, ACT, one of the oldest community theaters in the state of Texas.
Yes.
We love that, and we really love to support it. Just a quick shout out, they're doing Elephant Man this weekend. It's the closing weekend. Catch me out there Sunday at 2. I'll be out there.
Mike Stevens directing that one.
Mike Stevens is directing it, and we're also going to have Mike Stevens on Saturday. This coming Saturday, we're going to do a quick 15, 20-minute theater update, do a little critique. It'll be fun. Anyway, so you were there for 2 years, and then what happened?
Then Dallas Christian, my alma mater, called and said, hey, we need a drama teacher. You want to come do that? And I was like, well, I don't really know how to do school. I don't know. But I grew up in Dallas. My mom still worked at Dallas Christian. All the people that were the teachers when I was a kid, a lot of them were still there. So it felt like a pretty safe landing. And Richard was writing his thesis for his master's in psychology. And so we moved in with my mom and dad, real grown-ups.
Yeah, that happens.
And Richard got a job at Timberlawn Psychiatric Hospital, running group therapy for adolescents. and then ultimately was accepted to the PhD program at SMU for his doctorate in experimental psychology. And so we were able to stay there.
Cool.
If he'd gotten accepted out of town,
You might have moved.
I wouldn't have stayed at Dallas Christian, but I was at Dallas Christian for 4 years, and he got his PhD. And then we found out that baby Brendan was coming. Yay! And I was oddly directing Oklahoma at
wow.
Dallas Christian School.
Love that.
Like 27 years ago, I don't know how many, a lot of years ago.
Many decades ago.
Yes. Yeah. And I remember telling the cast that I was going to have a baby. That was really, really sweet. Yeah. He thought, I remember I told him that we were going to have a baby. We were standing on the corner in the rain in Dallas, walking to the Burger Street place. And we had just found out, and we were standing in the corner, and I remember we're literally there's a stoplight, and he looked at me and he goes, well, I guess I better get a job. And I said, guess so.
Yeah.
And he was finishing up his PhD and was literally writing chapters in between my contractions.
Wow.
Yeah. So we moved to Nashville, Tennessee, where he was given the chance as ABD, all but dissertation. He was hired at David Lipscomb University, and they took a real shot on him because he was unproven and ended up just being a born teacher. I feel like both of us have had opportunities where people keep asking us to do things that we don't know how to do, and it ends up being
exactly
the thing that we're supposed to do.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
It's really cool.
My mom told me once I kept feeling like a fraud when I was a young teacher at both the community theater here in Abilene and at Dallas Christian. Somebody's going to figure out that I don't know what I'm doing.
Some imposter syndrome.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And I was really glad that I was married because they could at least call me Mrs. Beck because I was 23 when I went to Dallas Christian. And I looked like one of the kids, and I was like, somebody's going to find out that I don't really know what I'm doing. And so I remember being really, really, really scared about that. But I loved it, and I was loving it. But I somebody's going to find out.
Yeah.
And I remember my mom passed away. It'll be 4 years ago in March. And shouldn't have said that. But she said to me one time in her classroom, I was talking about that fear. And she said, Jana, this is one of the best mom things she ever said to me. She said, the things that make you good at what you do, you can't be taught those things. Yeah. Those are the things that God gave you. And that is why you are good. She said, you could take all the classes in all the world and have the knowledge and not do what you're doing.
Yeah.
She said, but God gave you the things that it takes to be a good teacher, and that's why you're not an imposter. And if I would have believed her that day, that I would have had a lot of happier years a lot sooner. But those things that our parents say sometimes take a while to settle in.
That's right. Yeah.
And I have to confess, even at 56, sometimes there's this little part of me that thinks, somebody's going to find out that I don't really know what I'm doing.
Yeah, but you do know what you're doing. I think that's so apparent and obvious. And, I was hoping that I reached out to some of the other wonderful female leader directors of their departments, Victoria, Nina, Dawn, to see if they would come and support you today. And I think they all wanted to be here. But
that is precious.
You continue to come up on this podcast more than just about anybody else. And of course, I have a lot of theater people on here, and we discuss a lot of local theater things. And you're a huge part of our local scene for a lot of different reasons. And just a lot of people really love you.
That's really, really gracious of you to say. Thank you.
So you guys were at Lipscomb.
Yes.
And how long were y'all there for?
We were there for 3 days shy of a year.
Okay.
And that was not our intention. We move there, assumed that we'd live there, and Brendan would grow up there, and we'd be Nashville people. And ACU called again. Somebody called. I'm noticing a little theme here.
Yeah, people are reaching out for you.
Yeah. ACU called Richard. They would have liked to have hired him, but they didn't have a position at the time that he was looking. Okay, and they're like, sorry, we'd love to, but we don't, you know. Well, the year after we left, the person in the experimental theology is Richard's blog.
Okay.
Experimental psychology is his career. I'm
Great.
sorry I get them confused. The experimental psychology person retired, and they called and said, hey, we got that position now. And he's like, I can't go because they took a chance on me, and I've only been here a year, and nobody does that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, who only jerk people do that. And so we did it anyway, but we weren't jerk people because he talked to all the people there and said, I don't know what to do. We had this baby. My wife's family is 3 hours from Abilene. The cost of living in Abilene is drastically lower than Nashville. So even making the same money, it's like a huge raise. And they were like, and he was also going to teach in a master's program. Lipscomb didn't have a master's program at that time. And they were like, it's a no-brainer, dude. I'm like, you should go. You should go. Do not let your conscience keep you from doing what's best for your family and your career. And they were so generous and kind. Now, publicly, they had to be like, can you believe that Beck's going to leave after a year?
1 whole year.
But privately, they were like, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So we came to ACU and have been here ever since.
What year was that?
That was in 1998.
98. Great. I moved here in summer 2001, and became acquainted with y'all pretty quickly, I think. Probably through Highland, and Richard was teaching Sunday school class. And at that time, most of the theater department, we were all attending the same Sunday school class.
Right.
Talk about a bubble, but it was great.
But Adam and Donna Hester they tried to foster community outside of just the theater walls, because I too was a kid. When I was 17, I went to college. Adam and Donna Hester were there, and I remember going to their house for shepherding group and going to church with them, and they did it for me too. But I still remember Donna particularly bringing you and Kate up to me, like, so proudly, like, look, here are these little
kids.
baby chicks. Be friends with them. Be nice to them, And it was, of course, my great delight. And guess what? They're still doing it.
Yep, they still are.
They're not at ACU in the same capacity, but they still bring me up little theater chicks. And I love them.
This is a little bit of a side note here, Jana, but we're friends, and I've been thinking about the church a lot lately, and community, and what it means. And maybe it's now that I'm getting older, the fact that I have grandchildren or whatever, but there's something really powerful about people that are willing to love others right where they're at in sort of a formal, institutionalized fashion. And anyway, I'm going to get a little verklempt if I go too deep on that. But
I understand.
It's been really meaningful to me lately to think about that. And even in the context of theater, too, because theater, and I want you to talk about, we'll segue into this, but theater is a place where you can either feel safe because of the people around you and the atmosphere that's been created, or you can feel like a piece of dirt. And I've had both experiences professionally. But when you can walk into a space and the people there are kind, generous, loving, forgiving, sensitive, it opens up something for those of us that have been eaten from the inside by the theater bug, to be able to express ourselves and to be vulnerable and let our true selves out. And then, and of course, the other side of that is that our ego destroys us, and we feel like we're not worthy, and the people around us to say, "Oh, do it again. It's not good enough." So you can get both sides of that sword on a theater.
You can't. Theater can be the biggest risk of your life, and it can also be the safest cradle.
Yep. And I think, for me anyway, it's been both. Right?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So, okay, you guys came back to ACU. Richard's teaching.
Yep.
You got a little young man in your lives.
Well, when Richard was called to come back to ACU, I got a phone call.
Of course you did.
I got a phone call from Abilene Christian School saying, hey,
Where'd you come in?
we heard that you were moving back to Abilene, and you are the one who used to beat us every year at the Christian school's one-act play competition.
good.
And we are tired of being on the other side of that.
Yeah.
Would you come and do it for us?
Yeah.
And I said, no. And they were like, excuse me? And I said, I'm a mom.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
I was like, no, those days are behind me. No. And I said, but thank you so much for asking, really. I'm honored that you would ask. I said, but I'm not, I'm not doing that anymore.
I moved on.
And so then they called back. They were like, no, seriously? Like, seriously, this is like Tuesday, Thursday, 2 classes. Like, it's not that big of a deal, And I was like, well, yeah, but like there's shows and there's speech tournaments, and I know all about all of that. And it's like, it takes over your life. I was like, thank you so much. No. But thank you. You're so kind. And I hung up. And I told Richard, they called again. And he goes, he goes, you might want to think about it. Yeah. And I was like, I can't, what would I do with Brendan? Like, what would he goes, okay. What would it look like for you to say yes? Like, what craziness would have to be present for you to say yes? He goes, just make a list. And so I did.
Okay.
They had to provide a babysitter that I approved of, and I didn't have to pay for the babysitter.
Perfect.
That was the main thing.
That's an easy one. I love it.
And then I was like, I will do one-act play, prose and poetry, and duet acting, but I am not doing any of the other events in speech. I can't. That's too much. And I was like, and I will do one show in the fall and one show in the spring. And the one show being the one act is included in that, and then another show. And I was like, and that is it. And you have to pay me, some amount that I thought sounded really big. That's like a joke.
Yeah.
And so I called him back, and I was like, okay. And I was like, they're going to laugh me off the phone. So I said my crazy, crazy list. And guess what?
They said, sure, easy.
They said, no problem.
Yeah.
And so the principal's wife had to take care of Brendan.
I love that.
Because he needed a drama teacher. And she's like, what?
Hey, you gotta give me this dollar.
He's like, baby. And the very first... Exactly. He's like, you've got to do this. We can't find anybody. And so the first day that he went, he, new walker, he fell and banged his forehead on the coffee table, which happens in anyone's home.
Yeah.
But like, this is the first day. They're like they're cradling this new mother, like, oh, bye, baby. And so she's like, honey, he fell. And I'm going to have to bring him back broken. And he was like, oh, my gosh, she's probably going to quit.
Yeah, right. What did you do to my child?
And I was very calm and cool. I said, don't worry about it. It happens. It's not a big thing. Inside, I was freaking
I'm sure.
out.
I'm sure.
But I thought, I'm going to behave. And so thus did I step into the rest of my adult life, which is using that performance degree to act like everything's fine.
Yeah, cool, calm, and collected.
Until I don't.
That's right. That's right. So you've been at ACS for 20-some years
Yep.
with a little bit of a break
Yep,
for your
I took
second
a break
child.
in the middle for the second child, and then I came back.
And you worked with Mark Smith a little bit. Or
Mark Smith filled in for me
Okay.
1 year while I was gone.
Shout out
having the
Mark
baby.
Smith.
Shout out Mark Smith. Thank you for doing that. The kids loved you. And then he went on to do bigger and
the Legacy Theater in
bigger
Georgia.
things outside of the Abilene area. Go Legacy. I came back and have been there ever since. So if I've been there 23 years, so count 2 of those, or 3, whatever. So probably in a row, like around 20 now.
Yeah. And so, going back to everybody in the theater community in Abilene knows who you are, loves you, would do anything for you.
Sweet.
And we kind of have to, because you're a little limited with what you have available to you and your
Yes.
students at
Yes.
ACS. And I know you have a ton of support from your administration and parents, and I know the kids love you because, well, you have a student right now that is the niece of my girlfriend that we love to come and watch. She was in Toad and Hare. Did I get that right? No,
Tortoise and Hare.
And then
Shout out Damon Brown and Alan Robertson, who are ACU alum, who wrote that and
Really?
let
I
me
didn't
do
know
it.
that.
Yes, sir.
it was a really cute show.
It was a really cute show.
But Nina McLean at McMurray lets you use the
Yes,
space.
she
And
does.
you've got Oklahoma coming up. You're going to be at the Paramount. Where do you rehearse? How do you pull all the strings together to make this stuff happen?
Well, that's a fabulous question. I spent a lot of my earliest years at ACS trying to find a place to perform. And the first place I reached out to was my former employment home, Abilene Community Theater. And that was our home for like 8 years.
Okay.
And really, they would hold a space. Mike Stevens was instrumental in supporting us and making that happen. Like, I cannot tell you, it's like he was my co-director. I mean, he was everything.
Great.
And made that happen with me and supported my students in a way that, I mean, I'll never forget. He'll always be one of the dearest people to me in my life. And he still comes to our shows and still supports, and as he does for all of us.
Yep.
He's like the Abilene Theater everyman,
Yes.
He's there for everyone. But I was able to like finagle getting onto that season. Is hard because they're always going,
Oh, yeah.
but they would hold a space for me, and sometimes even like make a set that I could then keep it. They would keep up, and I could use. It was amazing. We would practice largely in the band hall, which is a shared space, so that can get tricky. But when COVID came, that kind of shut everything down, and it kind of hit a little bit of a reset button for us with ACT. Not in a bad way, but in an exciting way. We would often rehearse also in the what's now the Black Box Theater. Eventually, out of the decrepit Round Building, when the Grace Museum moved downtown, that's where my little office became.
Okay.
And I would have all my children's classes in what's now the Black Box. And so we would rehearse in there, and what started happening was cool things were happening, and they would have like a kind of like a, forgive me if I'm not stating this historically accurately, but they would have shows going on in there and shows on the main stage, and they would offset each other and rehearse, and there just wasn't room for us anymore because
Sure.
there was too much theater action going on over there, and they are allowed to use their own facility.
Absolutely.
And so that's when I called Carrie Goff at McMurray. To Mike Stevens' credit, he said, call Carrie and see if he might let you use Ryan Little Theater. So I called Carrie, and he said, really, truly, you don't need to even be talking to me. You need to talk to Nina McLean. She's our children. She does our educational stuff, and that works with children. And she's probably got some great ideas for your program. And yes, you can use our space. But talk to Nina. Y'all would be great. She's now like one of the favorite people in my life, in the whole universe. Yes. Shout out Nina, who will be the nurse in Romeo and Juliet.
We're going to come see you tonight, Nina.
Nina! Anyway, so then I started going over there.
Cool.
And then one day, the music teacher, Heather Baker, and I decided that we had like a lot of kids who could sing, and we thought it would be kind of fun to do like a Broadway review kind of thing. And wouldn't it be cool if we could do it at the Paramount?
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy talk.
Yeah.
That is kooky, crazy talk.
That's like asking the principal's wife to watch your son when you go back to work.
It is almost like that. So we did that.
Cool.
And the seniors now would have been in 7th grade.
Okay.
Okay. And we did it because we didn't want kids to like maybe want to go on to college or whatever and be a part of theater in the world and had never experienced a musical audition or done anything with music on a stage. And so, because when I was in high school, we didn't have musicals at all.
Okay.
And it really put me at a handicap when I came to ACU, because I was more like a 7th grader auditioning for ACU. I still remember what I sang. Can
What'd
I
you
sing it for
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
Because I knew all the great things about theater auditions. I had my cassette, and I pushed play, and you hear ding, ding, ding. And I said, some say love, it is a river. I was so scared. A river that runs. And they were like, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. We are so happy you're here. Okay. Adam Hester, Jeanette Ledford. Okay. Thank you, sweet girl. And I was like, okay, bye. And then I got cast in some ensemble stuff. Anyway, I digress. So we did that at the Paramount, and the parents went insane in a good way. And they were like, we got to be doing real musicals.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, what? What? And they were like, what would it take to do some real musicals around here? And I was like, thousands and thousands of dollars. And they were like, okay.
We'll write checks.
And I was like, oh, all right. I was like, well, we were planning to do one of these every 4 years. Like, we were going to do a review every 4 years so that you could at least once in your high school career experience that. And if you're here for middle school, maybe you get two, you know, it just kind of works out. And they were like, no, that's too far. That's too far. And I was like, well, I'll think about it. You know, I'm like, oh my goodness. Right. So we're doing my middle school show. We ended up getting to use Folks at ACU because nothing else was available. And Dawn.
That's rare.
I know. I know. Dawn really came through and was like, we want to support you. And all the universities in town are so supportive of high school theater and middle school. It's so great. And so we got to perform in Folks. And it was so cool because this is where the big kids do it, you know. And we had some students from the town come see their friends. And they got excited about how good the show was because a lot of people were saying, this was as good as a high school show. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Middle schoolers can do stuff. Guess what? They are awesome. And you don't have to wait for them to be awesome. They're awesome now. And some people got excited about our school and our theater, and their friends were there, and they, you know. And so they came over, and all of a sudden I had this little group of people that were phenomenal singers and dancers and performers who had been trained up by APAC and Mrs. Z's and the schools that they had already gone to, but they were still at middle school. But I got some really amazing people, and it became apparent that with the interest from the parents for the Paramount show and this like crop of musical theater people in ninth grade, maybe we should try it.
Yeah.
And so we did, and we did Anastasia, young performers or junior or something,
yeah.
at the Paramount, and it was amazing, and the talent that the kids brought, and Tabitha Cherry happened to become, she is the music teacher for all of ACS. And that was her first year. She just happened to show up at ACS right about the time all this crop of people, serendipitous showing up.
Yeah.
And we were like, you know what? We got to do something.
Yeah.
And so we did. And thus a monster was born. A beautiful, beautiful, sparkly, shiny, scary, money-eating monster was born. And we are about to do our 4th musical straight in a row.
Congratulations.
So thank you so much for Once Every 4 Years.
Yep.
But it's kind of like, I love watching sports. I've always loved watching sports. I mean, there's no greater drama. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
My son, Brendan, was a big athlete. So I love all of that. I'm not like anti-sports balls person, okay?
Well, and shout out to ACS basketball.
Yes, women's varsity basketball playing for state championship right now as we speak. As we speak.
Let's go, girls.
Go Panthers! What was I saying?
The commitment of doing a musical every year.
Okay, so what happened was, the kids were so phenomenal.
Yeah.
We did a real, quote, real musical, and everybody was like losing their minds, including me. And Tabitha Cherry and I are like the best team together because we are on the same wavelength. We have the same philosophies. And she was just great. And so we continued moving forward. And each year we wanted to do something a little bigger, a little harder, a little more challenging. And people were like, it felt like people were throwing money in our laps.
Wonderful.
To make this happen. Because people were like, oh my goodness, this is really special. This is really unique. This is crazy. That this is coming out of this little small place that practices in a band hall and has a little tiny classroom, and that's it. I mean, like, what's going on? But people were showing us the money, and we were able to use the Paramount and the excellence of that space, and the designers and the staff that work there and support you, because you're not just getting the building.
You're getting everybody.
You're getting everybody,
Yep.
and that they help fill in the gaps for me, because I don't know about that stuff because I've never had that stuff. And that's the ticket to pushing the show over the top. Anybody who discounts the importance of lighting is a crazy person.
Yeah. You can't see your actors if they're not lit.
Crazy. Well, it tells the story. And Grayson Allred, he's a genius. He's a genius artist. And this is as much a part of his creation as any of ours.
I love that.
And Kay Hahn's support of me when I'm sitting out there going, what are we doing? She's like, you're doing great.
You're doing good, Jana,
so good.
keep it up.
So we moved to Into the Woods.
Okay.
I wanted the kids to experience doing something that wasn't a junior or young performer. They'd never gotten to do that before because APAC and Mrs. Z's is designed to be for shows like that. And I was like, well, if they went to a public school, they would get to be not doing juniors, you know, and I wanted that for them. So we looked at some stuff, and we didn't have, you can only cast a show with the people that you have. So we have to do that great formula. And we landed on Into the Woods. And we only did Act 1, which was an hour and a half, because I have I have like an hour, 15 minutes, hour and a half limit for what we can produce based on how our kids are allowed to play sports and do lots of other things, and we have to share. The amount of rehearsal time that we have doesn't really lend itself to more than a show longer than that.
Okay.
And then also, of course, Cooper did the whole thing, and it is a massive, long undertaking, like kudos. But also, I was not able to envision the adulterous, murderous things that happen, the true meaning behind Into the Woods and the true real story that comes from Act Two didn't really fit the paradigm.
For Abilene Christian Schools. Yeah.
Anyway.
That's okay.
But we did that. It was, of course, Stephen Sondheim, most challenging.
Super good music.
Incredible. Okay, and they pulled it off.
Good.
Pulled it off. We had some really strong kids that were still with us. We just had a huge group that was so solid. And then we needed to take an off year financially because Into the Woods is very expensive. The reason you could do only one act is because they do allow companies to perform just the first act for shows for children.
Okay.
And so it's allowed, but you pay the money for the whole shebang, many thousands of dollars, which the artists who created that earned it, and I have no problem, but you still have to have that.
For our audience that's not very theater oriented, every time anybody in town does a show and you've heard the name of it, and even the ones that you haven't, they have to buy the rights to do the show. So everything, even at ACT,
yes,
everybody has to purchase the rights to do the show that you're going to watch. So just keep that in mind when you're supporting the arts, because we need all the support we can get.
I mean, it was close to $9,000 to have permission and performance materials for Into the Woods. That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. Yep. So tell me about, there's two things I want to get into. I really want to talk to you about Tortoise and the Hare and how you use the high schoolers and the middle schoolers together, because you built a great program with that. But before we get into that, and we'll kind of wrap it up with that. But tell me about what's going on right now with Oklahoma.
Okay. We are doing, I say to you with a calm voice, we are doing the full-length Broadway production of Oklahoma, which is 3 hours. Yes, friends, 3 hours. And we are having, for the first time, live musicians accompany us, because I wanted my students to be able to see what it feels like to have musicians follow you, to have the experience of not having to keep up with a pre-recorded track, so that when they go on to do their big, bold, great things, they don't feel like I felt when I came to ACU and sang some, the Rose, that they know what it feels like to sing for
an orchestra, with an orchestra.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's going to be
really encouraging.
Mark Sanders from Abilene fame is going to be putting together a small, 7 to 9 piece something for us. The pit at the orchestra pit at the Paramount works now, and so we're going to drop down, and they're going to be down there. The scary thing about that is we're losing stage space, and I have 44 kids in Oklahoma.
Yeah, and Paramount is not the largest. It looks huge from the space, but
it's going
when
to
you're
be
up
tight.
there, it's not that big of a stage.
I had to scrap my set plans. I was telling Grayson all my grand ideas for set plans, and he was like, "How many kids are in it?"
Yeah.
I was like, 44. He's like,
You can use a drop for that.
Yeah, no. He's like, I've got gobos for that.
Yep. And I got and here's another drop, and here's another lighting look.
We're stepping out on a wing and a prayer. I wanted to give this senior class a big grand send-off, and I wanted to help them grow. But it's really scary to fit a 3-hour show in the same amount of time, because we didn't just automatically get more time because I picked something longer.
Yeah, so that's a lot more to manage.
Yeah, but it's really exciting. It's going to be amazing, guys.
Well, it's a super fun show. And you said this show goes up in mid-April.
Yes.
Do we know the dates?
April 17th and 18th.
Okay.
Tickets go on sale to the general public through the Paramount website on March 20th.
Okay.
And it is going to be, I call it flying petticoats. Like, I'm pulling a Jana Beck, and I'm making it super, super bright colors and lots and lots and lots of petticoats and lots and lots and lots of bright colored bandanas. And Nisa Martin is the choreographer, and we're doing like fun. It's like fun yeehaw cowboy dancing, clicking your heels with your boots.
Good.
And it's supposed to take place at the turn of 2 centuries ago, and it does. But I am marrying the 1940s and 50s. When the musical was written and performed on Broadway, and when it was made into a movie. And I'm bringing some costumes kind of more from that time. So you're going to see lots of big skirts and petticoats and boots. And wow, it's going to be awesome.
I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, you asked me a question. I got to talk about my costume. Sorry.
Well, so April 17th and 18th.
April 17th and 18th.
We have, Sam and I and some other people are doing a show April 17th, so I won't be on that day.
Okay.
Maybe we'll try to make it.
Oh, please
we'll make
do.
It I know I'll make it to the 18th.
Serenity's in it.
Yeah, I know.
Am I allowed
gotta
to say
go
her
see
name?
Ren. So we went and I think this was in December. Was that one?
Yes. Okay. Tortoise and Hare.
Tortoise and Hare.
Okay.
So got to come out and see Tortoise and Hare. You did it at the Little Ryan Theater at McMurray, which is a fun little space.
Yeah, it's a fun little
love
space.
that space. And we got to watch a really neat show. I wasn't really familiar. I mean, you're kind of familiar with the story,
Yes.
right? But I'd never seen this done as a stage play. This is, like you said, written by ACU alum. I wasn't familiar with that. And you just had middle schoolers performing.
Yes.
And they did an incredible job.
Yes.
And then I learned that not only did you just have middle schoolers perform, but that the upperclassmen directed.
Yes.
Tell me all about
Okay.
that, because this is something you've
Right.
done. Yeah.
Okay. So it's my favorite. It's my favorite. When I took over came back to ACS theater, there wasn't anything for middle school.
Okay.
And I love middle schoolers. I love them. And I was like, if you went to a middle school in town, you would have your own theater. So why should you get the shaft because you came to ACS? You know, we're going to have both. But there was still just me, and there's still only just that much time. So what I did was I created a middle school show, and I was like, well, what are my high schoolers going to do while I'm letting the middle schoolers have a main stage production? They're going to be sad and be like, feel like they're getting gypped and all this stuff. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to let the high schoolers help.
Yeah.
They're going to help me direct it. They're going to help.
Yep.
And it solved a problem for letting the middle schoolers have a minute. Okay, that was ultimately what it was doing, was solving a problem. And I was like, and they'll like it, and it'll be good for them, and you know. It's turned into a thing, and we call it high school production staff, and they look forward to knowing that it's like, because when you are in middle school, you get to be awesome friends with the people who are directing you, and then you know that when you get bigger, you can maybe be the director, and they start looking forward to it, and it's like a thing, and it's this beautiful friendships. I say this to all the parents beforehand. I say, there's going to be more tears at graduation because these young ones now have special friendships with kids who are about to go, and it's really, really sweet. I have students on the high school side that are directing who find out that they love doing it and they love teaching it. I had a student say to me, I did not know that there was something that would be as life-giving to me as performing until I was doing this. And so she's going to add education onto her degree as she goes forward. And it is phenomenal to watch. Middle schoolers learn that they can do things that they didn't know they could do, and high schoolers learning they could do things they didn't know they could do, and learning it together and kind of getting to sit on the side and watch magic happen, because that's what education is all about and theater is all about, is
Trying.
yeah. Together.
Yeah. So, again, this was kind of new to me. I didn't really know that you were doing this sort of what'd you call it, high school production
They call it
staff?
high school production staff,
which is
because that
so
sounds
perfect.
very important.
And it is.
Because it's the most important thing ever.
And that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, the impressions that you've given me and what just sitting there watching and looking over and seeing some of your high school students sitting on the ground, focused. I don't know if they were helping with.
They were the ones on the ground were the vocal directors.
Okay, so but I mean, just the I could tell how focused they were and how much they were just pouring into their, younger classmates. And I walked away with just a real sense of like, Jana Beck built something magical.
Yay!
In her department.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, that's just so cool.
They were up in the light booth. They designed the set. They built the set. They did all of it. They were back there with costumes and props, and I deliberately had sophomores direct it. I had seniors do vocal direction and choreography. And then, so I could I'm like building, it's not just a senior showcase. We're like building it on up. Yep. And yeah.
That's really cool.
I'm glad you got to come. It was a really sweet experience.
I'm sure I'll be to the next one too. But
I hope so.
I think what you're doing over there is incredible, and everybody else does too. I mean, you're getting tons of fanfare from all of us in the community, and you deserve it. You deserve the recognition, and we hope that you stay there for another 20 years.
Well, thank you.
Are you doing anything in your personal life that you're excited about?
Yes. Tonight, I'm letting everyone know, so if you don't see me on stage at the show, you know it didn't go well, but tonight I'm auditioning for The Sound of Music at the Paramount.
Yay.
I want to be a nun.
Good.
Really, really bad. Also, I, in all my spare time, I do a little side gig called Tiny Joys.
Okay.
And it's where you take, it's flower pins, and it's basically just pins that you wear, made out of fabric and stitching and things. And I like to wear stuff like that, and I love to touch different textures and mess with different colors. And Addie's Boutique here in Abilene hosts me.
Cool.
And I have like explosions of Tiny Joys when it's time for Christmas or whatever, and then I have explosions of Oklahoma, and everything's an explosion.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Any kind of final thoughts you want to share with our audience today? And I'm excited you're auditioning for Sound of Music. Grace and I went Tuesday night. It's the first time I've auditioned for a musical since high school.
It's so exciting.
Or maybe, I don't know. I did some professional work in Minneapolis a long time ago, and maybe I did back then, but I can't remember. I can't remember the last time I sang for an audition.
Yeah. Well,
Terrifying.
I'm excited just to get to stand there and sing on the Paramount stage.
Oh, yeah.
No matter what happens, I'm like, it's just a fun.
It is.
It's so fun.
It's so
I'm so excited about
and
it.
Mark is wonderful. And Katie's wonderful. And
Yes,
Jason's
Mark and
wonderful.
Katie. Oh my goodness, I'm really excited, and I'm also hoping that if I get to be a nun, some of my students will get to be in the show too, and I can like be in the show with them. Anyway, but I digress.
That'd be fun.
Final words. The world is hungry for kindness. And you and I and all the people have the opportunity to feed that need. And it doesn't matter where you are, who you are, what you're doing. Bring kindness. And when we fail to do that, say sorry and try again.
I like that. My daughter, Ara, and I, years ago, came up with this idea that it is better to be kind than to be right.
Yes. Yes.
That's kind of a motto I try to live by.
I love that.
I still disagree with that.
That's okay, Sam. Sam, you're right, though. You're right.
I think it's dangerous in some situations.
You got to use discernment, buddy. Well, Miss Jana Beck, I really appreciate your time today. I hope you have a wonderful time with your students this afternoon.
Thank you.
And we really look forward to Oklahoma in a little over a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, coming up.
Yeah.
It's going to be wonderful.
It's going to be so much fun.
Oh, yeah, it's a great show.
So many people have heard of this show and know about it. Tell your friends, because I don't, it's kind of rare to get to see a golden age from a high school.
Yep. It's going to be good. And Paramount's such a wonderful spot to do it.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
Well, maybe in the future I can get your wonderful husband on the show.
Yeah.
We'll work on him. But in the meantime, we'll be seeing you around town, I'm sure.
Okay.
And thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Friends, thanks for watching. Really appreciate this. Please like, subscribe, comment, share. You are welcome to join us Thursday mornings around 10 a.m. where we do the Travi Wavi Live here at the Neon Parrot Live Studios, located next door to Majestic Coffee Shop in historic downtown Abilene, Texas, located on Pine Street. We are the storybook capital of America. We're the storybook capital of Texas, and I try to bring wonderful characters every week for y'all. This week's podcast was sponsored by Bustos Training, and we appreciate their support. And if you are looking to support the Travi Wavi or any of our other channels that we have going on, please get in touch with me or my wonderful executive producer extraordinaire, Sam Wolf. And thank you, Sam, today for all that you do. Thank you, Jana, for being here. And we're signing off from the Travi Wavi, and we'll see you guys next week when I'll bring you a really great guest.